Welcome to this video on how a technique for making a fiberglass board. This particular board that I'm going to demonstrate I'll be using to mount some RC receivers for my drone. I've built this drone and it's working, but it is a mess, so I'm going to remount the RC receivers with an upgrade for the flight controller receiver and hopefully increase the range and make it look a bit better. But the first thing I need to do really is to make some boards to mount these pieces of equipment on. Now, this is a very simple method for making a flat board rather than paying 18 or 20 pounds for a carbon fibre board. So these are some of the pieces that we will need. So we will need some polyester resin. This is some stuff I had in my shed. It's just about on its sell by date, but I think we can work with it. Also some hardener. You have to be very careful with this stuff. If it goes in your eyes, you've got a problem. And I'm going to use 5 layers of this fiberglass tape. So if you can imagine, that's about the size of the receiver. So I'm going to cut 5 layers of this tape, and then we can mix up some resin and some hardener in this handy yogurt pot that I cleaned out, and sandwich the whole lot with a clamp between these boards like this. This should squeeze out all the excess resin, and these are bits of polythene that I cut from an old storage box. As you can see, it snaps really easy, so you've got to watch out, but the fiberglass won't stick to this and it should give a fairly smooth finish. So we'll have a go, and first of all I'll demonstrate cutting the tape, which is fiberglass tape. It's not too difficult to cut. Let's put these back. So I decided I need 3 inches length, so I'm going to cut this tape 4.5 inches, and I've found the easiest way to cut the tape is to do that. This will stop the ends from fraying. We'll go for our 4.5 inches. Or we could say 117 centimetres. So 4.5 inches. As you can see, that makes a very nice cut. The only thing is, I'm going to leave that on there, so these bits under the tape will be wasted, but we cut off the excess after we've finished. So I need to cut, I'm going to make 3 boards, so I'm going to make them 5 layers thick, so I need to cut 15 of these, which I shall do in a minute. Also, these clamping boards are a bit, it's going to be difficult to handle all these bits and pieces, so I'm going to nail these onto there, and those 2 onto there, which should make it a little bit easier for me to get the clamp on. Just to switch off and do. The reason for that is although today it's only 2 degrees in my shed, this polyester resin and epoxy resin, it's time critical before it goes off and becomes unworkable. Today we don't have too much problem. In fact, I'll have to put extra hardener in, but under normal circumstances, on a summer's day, you have to be pretty swift, so you have to have everything prepared before you actually mix up and go for laying up the job. Right, so I'll get these ones cut. Welcome back. Well, I've nailed the blocks together. Not particularly pretty, but I should be able to clamp the two between there. Something like that. Probably help to get this somewhere close. Right, that should save us a bit of time. I thought I'll just demonstrate once again cutting the fiberglass tape, because it's not massively difficult, but the tape stops the ends from fraying, which once they start, it becomes a mess very quickly. So there we are, that's the second demonstration of that. Now you've got 5, 5 and 5. You're going to need to lay them up like that. Can't have it. Lay them up like that. With the resin, that, and clamp them between the two things. Job done until they set. So you can see, even seeing through the, so you can see they've got quite a nice finish. We'll see how it turns out when we've done the job. So now all change. What we need is our trusty bit of cardboard. I save cardboard boxes, I'm not ashamed to say, and I cut them up and use them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need another one. Lucky you were counting. Two, three, four. You also need a nice shiny new pair of gloves. take some resin. Well, that should be plenty. Now we can add some peroxide hardener. I'm going to go for a fair bit. One of our trusty sticks and mix this up very well. If it doesn't mix with the resin, then the resin won't go off. Well, it'll go off after about 2 years, but it won't go off when you want it to. So we have to give it a bloody good mix up. Scrape all around the edges so there's no bits left in the corners. Okay. It usually helps to actually put down on your laying up board before you start. Put that one. And now for the tricky bit. So we don't want too much excess resin because there's no real strength in the resin. The strength is actually in the fiberglass fibres. So I hope you're counting, because I've lost count now. Now this technique would be exactly the same if you were using carbon fibre. So there we have it, the 5. We start pressing down, we should see the resin just being pushed through that top layer of mat. I don't want to go too crazy. So I don't know if you can see the resin is pushed through. It's gone right through the mat, so that will actually soak in a bit more, and even more when we clamp the whole issue together. So there we are, it's taking shape now. You clamp this up. Looks quite good. Yeah, see how it pays to organise your clamp before you actually need it. So there we are, that is the job. All clamped up, waiting for us to open it in a couple of days' time, probably, because it's cold out here and the resin will take a while to cure. I don't want to take them out before it's cured very well, because I want them to stay nice and flat. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back in a couple of days. Right, just a few words on the ratio of hardener to resin, or catalyst to resin. It is time critical, so the temperature and the time make quite a big difference. Now I've just noted one down that I got off the internet for half a kilo of resin in a slow, normal and fast time. It shows here percentages and the weight in grams. So the weight in grams is not really going to help you very much. So we can find from the internet that 1 gram is equal to 1 cc, therefore 10 grams will be 10 cc's. No problem. You can buy syringes that will measure out these small amounts for small jobs. For bigger jobs you actually get a squeezy bottle that has a gauge on the top. But for what we need, we're only looking at, well, that's half a kilo. So you can scale these measurements down, but this just gives you an idea. So there, if you can see it, gives you a rough idea for the slow, normal and fast. Amounts of hardener or catalyst you need to the resin. Welcome back. In this section of the video we're going to open this. This has been drying in the shed for 4 days, curing, so the moment of truth approaches. We'll open this and see what has become of our 3 boards. They may have glued themselves together. That's a good start. See, that one's come away very clean. And there are our 3 boards. So there we have the 3 boards. And in this section of the video all we're going to do is trim these up on the bandsaw, ready for mounting the RC receivers and aerials to. So the best way to mark these off to putting up a bit of a fight. So there we are. So the best way to mark off this kind of thing is to put some masking tape on it. really don't want that bit. The mask can take them up like that, and then trim them on the bandsaw or something else. Now, this is one of the receivers, so I may as well trim them to the width of the receiver, because we don't want so, as we can see, the receiver's not too thick, so I'll leave as much off-cut as possible to save, might be able to use it for something else. So there we have it. So I will just mark off the other two, and trim them up on the bandsaw, and that should be the finished job. Well, welcome back. Fresh from cutting these three, trimming these three up on the bandsaw. These will be the boards for mounting the RC receiver. Just take this tape off. As a rule, you don't need to leave masking tape on longer than necessary, because it just sticks to everything and can be a devil to get off. Right, so that is the sort of finish we've got on the board. I don't know if you can see that. So that's what we've got. Now they're ready to start work on, to put the drone in. Now the idea behind this is I'm going to remount this RC receiver. You might recognise the type. On the board with some trusty double-sided sticking tape, and the aerials antennae will mount on the other end of the board, like that. Tricky. So that is the general idea behind these, with the aerials sticking out underneath. We should have a better line of sight from the transmitter. So hopefully we can get some more range on it. I'm also going to connect this one up for telemetry back to the RC transmitter, basically so I can monitor my battery voltage and not be paranoid all the time about running out of battery. So that will be in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and please follow the drone code.